I've really come to view my day job as a test that you can realistically start doing this week. Keep the day job, get the bills paid. So here are some practical steps that I've taken, and over time, you'll be living a life that actually feels like your own. All right, let's be real. No amount of time management hacks are magically gonna make room for everything you want to do, especially if you're balancing a full-time job. But what if the real solution isn't about cramming everything into your schedule and viciously making use of every minute? What if it's about designing your life around what truly matters to you? In this video, I'll cover what I think are the essential tactics for more effective time management, but more importantly, I'll share how I think about lifestyle design so that I'm actually making time for the things that matter to me most. Part 1. Essential time-saving tactics. All right, let's quickly run through some of the best time management tactics that I've implemented over the years. I first got into productivity and time management about maybe 4 years ago when I was finishing up college while simultaneously trying to balance my pursuits as a music producer, applying to jobs, relationships, fitness, hobbies, etc. This is when I really got obsessed with the tactical side of things, building systems, apps, software, etc. But here are a few of the most effective ones in my opinion. Time blocking. This is where you visually plan out your week either on a calendar or a piece of paper and set specific time blocks for different tasks that you want to complete on that day. I also like to set alarms on my phone for some of the key checkpoints, as it's very easy to simply not follow your time blocks unless you have your calendar open up in your face throughout the entire day. Batching tasks. Instead of doing one type of task multiple times throughout the day at separate times, like for example, checking your email or replying to messages for let's say 5 minutes 5 times throughout the day, it's a lot better to just set one longer block, let's say 30 minutes at the end of the day to check your emails. Even though something like checking messages might not seem like it takes up a lot of time, you actually lose a lot of time when you have to shift your focus back and forth between your text messages and the other work that you're doing at that time. It's way more efficient to batch things into larger blocks of time where you can really focus on it, kind of get into the flow of things, and that'll dramatically increase your efficiency. And of course, this works for things besides checking email and messages. Think about it like how you do laundry. You're not gonna, every time you wear one outfit, put it in the washing machine, run the whole cycle, put it in the dryer, and do that every single time for every piece of clothing. No, you're gonna wait until maybe the end of the week, batch everything together, put it all into the washing machine at once, and do one giant session of laundry. 80-20 rule and eat the frog. I group these two tactics together because I think they work best when applied simultaneously. But basically, you identify the highest leverage tasks that will contribute to your project or goal. This is the 20% of tasks that will contribute to 80% of the results. And you do that high leverage task first thing in the morning. This will, one, allow you to actually make significant progress towards your goal. This is kind of the 80-20 rule part of it. And then two, you'll get the hardest thing out of the way, so you kind of have this momentum that will make the rest of the day feel a lot easier. And that's kind of where the eat the frog part comes in. I think time management tactics like these can definitely work and help you get more things done, but they're only going to get you so far in life. And at the end of the day, the real shift in the quality of your life is going to come with thinking beyond just optimizing every second of your day and starting to look at the big picture and how you would actually want to spend your time. Before we dive into that, if you're new here, my name is Miles, and on this channel, we explore the habits, tech, and mindsets that help us live healthier, more productive, and fulfilling lives. If that sounds like something you're into, consider subscribing so you don't miss a video. Part 2, step back and define your ideal lifestyle. I'll often see people comment on videos of other people showcasing their routine or lifestyle and saying things like, well, my job starts at this time, so I can't do this. Or it must be nice to have time to do X, wait until you have this situation. Or this won't work for me because insert super unique life situation. I read these comments and sometimes it's clear that people are just making excuses, but other times I think they're absolutely right. Once you've gotten past a basic level and have implemented most of the essential time management tactics that I talk about on this channel, and you're still not satisfied with how you're able to spend your time, then really the only way to actually make time for everything you want to do is to either lower your expectations as to the things that you can realistically do with your time, or make a major career or lifestyle shift to facilitate the activities that you truly want to spend your time doing. I think a lot of people, my younger self included, heavily focus on the amount of money you can make in a particular career or the prestige surrounding it, and never really properly consider what they want a typical day in their life to look like. Thanks to social media, it's easy to get jealous of other people with more flexible careers, remote jobs, entrepreneurs, etc. I'm certainly guilty of doing that, but I try to recognize that everyone's lives are different, all with their own unique challenges, and there's really no point in comparing with others. So instead of staying stuck in that cycle of envy, I've really tried to focus on my own journey, be grateful for the opportunities that I have, think about what I want my ideal lifestyle to look like, and then intentionally taking steps to try and get there. I talk a lot on this channel about the importance of focus and how at the end of the day, focus is really the ultimate productivity tactic or hack. Pick something that's important to you that aligns with your goals and just focus on doing that well day in and day out consistently. The hard part is that that's obviously easier said than done. We live in such a distracted world. There's so many things that could potentially take our attention away that it's difficult to stay focused on something for a long period of time. But I think there's also a misconception that you need to be constantly grinding and hustling all the time, stressed out, making use of every single minute. I don't think that's the case either. A company called Magic Mind saw some of my videos where I talk about these problems, and they reached out because it seems like their mission really aligns with my philosophies regarding focus and productivity. And they sent me a pack of their mental performance shot and asked me to incorporate it into my daily routine for a week and report back any effects that I feel. All right, so it's been 7 days since I incorporated Magic Mind into my daily routine, and I'm honestly pretty surprised with the things that I've noticed, but also the things that I haven't noticed. I honestly wasn't sure at first if it was possible to experience a tangible improvement in my productivity just from consuming a little drink like this. And so for the first couple days, I was definitely skeptical, but by the end of this week, I feel like I've definitely noticed a real shift. So one of the things I noticed from drinking Magic Mind before my morning deep work sessions was this overall boost in energy and mental clarity. But what I didn't notice was the jittery caffeine rush that I usually get from drinking things like coffee. And it was more like a calm, natural energy, kind of like what you'd feel after getting a really good night of sleep. And I also feel like it's had a subtle effect on my ability to focus as well. I'll have to continue drinking it to see if this is a long-term thing or maybe just a coincidence from this past week. But I feel like normally I'm able to focus for about 60 to 90 minutes before my brain starts to wander thinking about random things. But this past week, I was able to go for 2 to 3+ hours at times of deep, intense focus. Now, I'm generally really careful about the things that I put into my body. My girlfriend sometimes gets impatient with me because I'm that guy at the grocery store who spends like 5 minutes reading through all the ingredients on different things. So I really appreciate how transparent Magic Mind is with the ingredients in their product. For example, one of the key ingredients is organic ceremonial grade matcha straight from Japan, which is one of my favorite things to drink anytime I'm over there. Unlike other food and beverage companies, all the ingredients are backed by science and clearly listed on their website, so no guesswork and no sketchy fillers. If you're looking for a way to improve focus, reduce stress, and get that steady energy without the crash, jitters, or anxiety, then I'd highly recommend giving Magic Mind a try. I talked to their team and they're offering you up to 48% off if you use my code or click the link in the description, which will take the price of each shot of Magic Mind to less than a normal cup of coffee. Go click that right now if you're interested in trying Magic Mind. Part 3. Pursue a career based on your ideal day. All right, so if you're satisfied with your career path and wouldn't change a thing about your work, that's awesome. First of all, I'm happy for you. And if you're still struggling with time management in that case, I would just focus on some of those fundamental tactics that I mentioned at the start of this video and in other videos on this channel. But if you feel like your job, work, or career might be holding you back from living the life you want to live, keep watching. Pursuing a career just for the status, money you can make, or the image surrounding it might make sense on paper and it could end up working out just fine for you, but I also think it's worth considering whether that career path would lead you to a lifestyle that you actually want to live. For example, let's take a pretty sought after career path of becoming a doctor. Now, I imagine people pursue becoming a doctor for different reasons. Some maybe for the money, the status, the sense of purpose. Maybe they got inspired from seeing doctors on a TV show, or they had family who were doctors. But I'm honestly curious how many aspiring doctors consider the long hours and lifestyle that comes with being a doctor. Now, to be fair, I never considered pursuing a career as a doctor, so I could be completely wrong, and every aspiring doctor already considers this type of stuff. This is just an example, but in this example, if your ideal week doesn't consist of, let's say, 8+ hours a day in a hospital, tending to patients and doing everything else that comes with the day-to-day life of being an actual doctor, then maybe it's worth considering other potential career paths that better align with your lifestyle goals. After graduating college and starting my first full-time job, I very quickly realized that I didn't see myself spending the rest of my life doing this, nor did I see myself going back to graduate school or trying to climb the corporate ladder, jumping between jobs, that type of thing. It just didn't really sit right with me. I had always been into music and creativity, and on the side had started producing songs for artists, so I decided that I would give it a shot and pursue a career as a music producer. After a couple of years of this venture, I gradually came to the realization that I didn't actually enjoy spending my time working for artists as a producer. Although I really like the creative side and actually making the music, the business side of things in the music industry kind of made it feel like I just had another job working for someone else, and my success was heavily dependent on that of others. This led me to YouTube. Similar to music production, making videos, editing, taking pictures, and writing were all things that satisfied my inner creative desires and were activities that I could slip into a flow state with and kind of lose track of time in a good way. I thought about what my ideal daily life would consist of and what sort of features were truly important to me, and came up with some of the following. Flexibility to structure my day how I please, so I could exercise during the middle of the day when the gym is empty, or start my day at my own pace without feeling rushed. Freedom of location. I could travel to new places whenever I feel like it and not really be restricted by my job or a set number of vacation days that I get per year. I wanted to feel like I was making a genuine positive impact on the world, and also had the ability to connect with other like-minded people who can support and inspire me. I wanted to be able to express myself creatively and have a career that facilitates my growth into the best version of myself. The more I thought about it, the more I found that being a YouTuber really had the potential to make my ideal lifestyle happen. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that no one should be doctors and everyone should be YouTubers instead. That's just how things have happened to work so far in my life. I just encourage you to think hard about what your unique values and ideal lifestyle consist of, and consider whether or not your current career path has the potential to lead you there. If so, that's awesome. Keep at it. If not, let's talk about how we can get there. Part 4, one step at a time. Now, although you might hear stories of some people dramatically... The hell, man? Okay, sorry about that. Siren or something went off in my apartment. Now, although you might hear of some people dramatically quitting their job with only a few months savings and going all in on their alternative career and magically making it work, I would probably not recommend doing that. I think it's much better to keep the day job, get the bills paid, and build up the second career on the side. That's what I'm trying to do. Although it might feel like your job is what's holding you back, and if only you had more time to go all in on your side hustle, you could make it your full-time career, it's likely that you haven't been able to really focus and lock in and make the absolute best of the time that you currently have free outside of your job. I know I definitely don't. So if you had an extra 8+ hours free per day, it's also unlikely that you'd be able to make the best of that time either. I've really come to view my day job as a test that forces me to develop the focus, discipline, and time management skills required to build my dream lifestyle and career. So here are some practical steps that I've taken to help me make time for the things I want to do and get closer to that ideal daily life. 1. Set your ideal daily lifestyle as your goal. Write out what an ideal day, week, or month in your life would look like, and treat this as the goal you're working toward rather than setting a vague general income or career goal. And there's a couple of reasons I like to do this. 1, it keeps us aligned with the life we're actually trying to build rather than some arbitrary milestone. And 2, we can make progress faster than you think by adding aspects of that ideal daily lifestyle to our current lifestyle and appreciating aspects of our current life that we already do enjoy. 2, begin incorporating aspects from your ideal life into your current routine. So for example, when I described my ideal future, one aspect was that I would spend evenings outside reading a book or planning out the next day with a cup of tea while the sun sets. Personally, there's no reason why I can't start doing that today. So try thinking of some components of your ideal daily life, even if they're small, that you can realistically start doing this week. Maybe you can't do them as often as you would like to do in an ideal world, but you can start incorporating it maybe once once a week, let's say. 3, take consistent incremental steps toward major changes. Now, of course, adding activities like spending an extra hour per week with family or watching the sunset a few times a week is going to be a lot easier to incorporate than making a major career shift from a regular 9-to-5 job to a flexible career that gives you financial freedom. But we can either sit around complaining and dreaming about what could be, or we can just take the incremental steps to make that happen and construct this ideal life piece by piece. Through this process, I'll often change up the goals that I'm working towards and realize certain things that I don't really need in my life or unexpected new things that I actually really enjoy. Personally, I've managed to secure a day job that has a bit of a hybrid arrangement where I only have to go into the office sometimes and the rest of the time I can do my work from home. This of course comes with its own set of challenges, but I think it's gotten me one step closer towards that dream life because I can save a few hours per week that I would have spent commuting, and I have the flexibility to go to the gym during my lunch break. I think the next milestone for me will be to grow my business income to the point where I can comfortably quit my day job and be fully in control of my time and potentially live in Japan, which is something that I've always wanted to try at some point in my life. So I'm doing my best to try and make this happen by consistently uploading videos, trying to intentionally improve the quality of my videos, and hopefully provide value to the world. I think there's really no quick fix to making time for everything that matters to you in life. It's really a gradual, lifelong process of making small, intentional actions, and over time, you'll be living a life that actually feels like your own. I'm curious what steps you're taking to make time for the things that truly matter to you. Leave a comment down below. Click this video to see how I'm building a healthier, more productive, and fulfilling life. Do something today that your future self will thank you for.